fabulous people! Welcome to Tuscany! In this Tuscany series, I'll share some of the best places in Tuscany that you absolutely cannot miss during your next Italy travel. From the must-visit restaurants and wineries to top places to stay and things to do in Tuscany, this series are packed with Tuscany travel tips. Now, before we begin, please remember to smack that like button. And if you're new to my channel and my vibe and the vibe of this channel resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe. All right, fabulous people, let's go explore Tuscany. The first stop in our Tuscany travel guide belongs to one of the most striking and picturesque villages in Tuscany, Montepulciano. Set high up on a limestone ridge, this Renaissance hill town will give you some of the most breathtaking 360 views of Tuscan countryside, with valleys and hills lined with olive groves, ancient farmhouses, and vineyards. Home to some of the most dreamy sunsets and the world-famous Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, this is one of my absolute favorite places in Tuscany, and I cannot wait to share this gem with you. One Italy travel tip that I have for you for Tuscany specifically is that if you plan on doing Tuscany travel, you will definitely need a car. I know a lot of you always ask me, Anastasia, can we just get to Tuscany and then just stay there without a car? And my response to it is that you definitely will need a vehicle to travel to the activities in Tuscany, and especially if you plan on traveling from one place in Tuscany to another. So for example, if you want to see Pitigliano, then go to Montalcino, you will need some kind of form of transportation. And my first stop in Montepulciano was none other than Boscarelli In Città, one of the absolute best restaurants in town. After spending years in the countryside and producing world-famous Boscarelli wines like Vino Nobile Reserva 2016, that was considered the 31st best wine in the world in the top 100 Wine Spectator 2022, they embarked on a new adventure by opening a restaurant in the city. Led by Chef Moreno Motterle, who ingeniously combines aromas and flavors, invention and tradition on one plate. And the space, actually, please allow us to give you a quick tour. Filled with Tuscan food, wines, and fun memories, it was time to check into one of my absolute favorite places in the entire Tuscany. If you decide to spend a couple of days in Montepulciano, Stelle di Monte has been my #1 choice for years. There is a reason why Igor and Natalie call their stunning, adult-only retreat an oasis of peace and relaxation. Located just a mile away from the historic center of Montepulciano, right in the heart of Tuscan countryside, this lovely ancient farmhouse, built over a period of 400 years, didn't even have a roof when Igor and Natalie took a leap of faith and decided to bring it back to life. This project was a true labor of love, filled with lots of hard work, sacrifices, obstacles, dedication, and anything that one gets to encounter when you embark on a journey of following your dreams. And now, years later, they're welcoming people from around the world in this one-of-a-kind, unique property. This fully restored farmhouse offers 6 stunning rooms and suites, each with its own private entrance, traditional Tuscan style with wooden beams and terracotta, grotto jacuzzi, and magnificent views of Tuscan valleys and hills. Recently, Natalie and Igor made a new addition to their one-of-a-kind property by building Sogno Toscano, the 6th room I couldn't wait to see and share with you. Every single detail here was carefully crafted to create a unique Tuscan experience. From a bed that feels like it's floating in the air, to the shower so big you can practice your electric slide moves, to the custom-made entrance door that gives you a sensation of being one with nature. Guys, this is truly one of the most unique rooms I've ever seen. You are literally staying inside the grotto. Look at the design of every single detail of this room. And of course you have this one-of-a-kind door/window that is overlooking the entire Tuscan countryside. And of course you have this stunning views of Montepulciano. Guys, this room is out of this world stunning. It has just been built, so it is brand new, and every single detail is just a masterpiece. I already cannot wait to come back to Stelle di Monte and stay here. This hotel, the details, the hospitality, the level of service, the insane food, this place offers everything. If you're traveling to Montepulciano, Stelle di Monte is such an easy choice to make. There is no comparison, guys. This is the place to be. Talking about food, there is one more thing that Stelle di Monte offers exclusively to its guests: a dining experience in a private cellar. Those of you who watched my previous video on Montepulciano know that I had one of the best meals of my life here a couple of years ago, so I couldn't wait to experience once again the true culinary art by Chef Igor. Guys, I apologize for the light, but I am inside the grotto and I am finally at one of my absolute favorite restaurants in entire world, having this incredible experience that I'm going to share with you tonight. Trained with Michelin-starred chefs for over 30 years, Igor has been cooking in luxury hotels in Italy and around the world. After years abroad, he came back to his home country with an expansive set of cooking techniques and fresh take on Italian dishes. Igor works only with seasonal ingredients, which guarantees the freshest and most delicious flavors in every single one of his creations.
This one is a pan-fried green tomato in grissini crust. In the middle we have a stracciatella cheese with which is inside of burrata. It's toasted together with the black truffle. In the bottom we have a rocket pesto and a goat cheese yogurt.
Wow!
Please enjoy.
I didn't know that someone can make Italian tomato taste even better, but somehow Igor once again outdone himself. Guys, this is truly incredible, and I think the best part of this whole experience is that only guests of Stelle di Monte can experience this special meal inside a grotto. It's literally just us and another couple who is staying here, and that's it. This is as special, as exclusive as it gets. Cheers! As I was savoring every bite, admiring the details of the ancient grotto and the table decor like a unique Venetian water carafe by Massimo Barberato, it was time for the next dish.
It's a black cod ravioli. The pasta, the cappellacci actually, is made with squid ink.
Yes.
And then you have salted asparagus, and on top is butter, sage, and mostarda.
This is the first time in my life that I'm having black ravioli, and as you guys heard Igor's description, this is supposed to be something out of this world. Pardon me as I'm holding my plate as I'm trying this ravioli, but I wanted to capture this experience for you. And yeah, let's go. Oh my god. But my absolute favorite course of the night was still ahead. A duck breast with sautéed artichokes, homemade salsa with roasted cashews, and the seasonal agretti salad. Do you locally source all the
ingredient is sold either locally or we grow our own.
And of course, the dinner couldn't be complete without a special dessert that was surprisingly served on a shovel. When I asked Natalie what was the reason for such an interesting choice of plates, she explained that as they built their last room at the retreat, Igor transitioned from the builder back to being a chef, and she wanted for him to have something that reminded him of those days. Well, fabulous. As you can imagine, after this meal, I was so ready for some incredible sleep in a peaceful Tuscan countryside. Good morning, fabulous people. I just had the most epic sleep in the Tuscan countryside. The peace and quiet that it gives you is just unparalleled. So many of you always reach out and ask me, Anastasia, should I stay a few days in Tuscany countryside, or should I just do a day trip from, let's say, Florence? And of course, it depends on your specific preferences as well as how many days you plan on spending in Italy. But for the clients of my travel agency, I always recommend, if they have a few extra days, to always spend at least 2-3 days in Tuscany countryside. And the reason for it is because when you explore cities like Venice, Florence, Rome, Milan, etc., it's a completely different experience than going into a countryside. It will give you something completely different when it comes to food and people and peace and calm and quiet. It's just something so special and very different that you will not be able to find, of course, in big cities, because big cities will charge you with lots of energy. You will be exploring, going from one place to another, whereas countryside will slow you down and will immerse you into this slow pace, relaxing pace of life. So if you have a couple of extra days in Italy, I strongly recommend for you to actually go and stay in Tuscany countryside instead of doing a day trip. Before heading out for a day filled with exciting activities, believe it or not, I was ready for breakfast. Everything from scrambled eggs with black truffles to homemade crepes with caramel sauce was truly exceptional. If I could just wake up to this breakfast every day. And of course, fabulous people, if you want to take all the headache out of your planning process for Italy, because I know it can be a lot, then I welcome you to check out the concierge service of my travel agency, where we will plan, organize, and book every single thing for you, from accommodations and transportation to tours, activities, restaurants. Trust me, that will save you countless hours in planning process and help you to avoid disappointment when you get here to Italy. And of course, I will make sure to leave you a link to the concierge service of my travel agency in the description down below. After an incredible start to the day, I felt like it could only get better. And it did. If you ever dreamt about horseback riding through the vineyards of the Tuscan countryside, in this Tuscan vlog, I'm going to share with you one of the best places to do it in Montepulciano. Tuscany horse trekking belongs to the Giorgi family, who for 6 generations with passion and diligence have been taking care of Cognanello farmhouse. With over 29 acres of land, here you'll find olive groves, vineyards, vegetable garden, and farm animals that freely roam around and enjoy their life to the fullest. As we began our horseback riding adventure through the Tuscan countryside, the overwhelming feeling of gratitude and excitement took over. I felt like a little kid playing with my horse Bugia, freely running through the fields and deeply enjoying every moment.
Montepulciano is right in front!
This was also a perfect activity to work off all those incredibly rich meals I've been having ever since I arrived in Tuscany.
Guys, this is the most perfect way to digest all your food. So if you have a very big lunch, this is perfect. You can just get on a horse and in a few hours everything is going to be digested, and at the same time you're going to get the most stunning views of the whole Tuscan countryside. So I'd say this is a win-win.
But Bugia and I were not on the same page when it came to food. It was her lunchtime and she certainly wasn't going to skip her meal.
You have to choose. We're either gonna eat or we're gonna exercise.
Anywhere I looked, I was surrounded by a serene landscape of distant mountain peaks, vast meadows, rolling hills, and vineyards. And as I thought these views couldn't get any better, the golden hour set over Montepulciano, making this moment a memory that's forever imprinted in my heart.
Oh my God, guys, let me tell you. This is one of the most beautiful experiences I've had so far in Tuscany. The combination of the Tuscany countryside, the stunning weather, and of course being on this one of the most incredible magical animals. It just gives you such a freedom, such a feeling of being one with nature, with the universe. If you're coming to Tuscany, this experience is an absolute must. You're not going to regret it.
After this unforgettable experience, it was time for me to join Antonella inside the Cognanello Agriturismo for a cooking class of Pici pasta. If you plan on doing Tuscany travel, you'll find Pici pasta on the menus everywhere. It's part of the cucina povera, or poor kitchen, as practically all you need is flour and water to make this simple yet absolutely delicious dish. Oh, and by the way, guys, as we're getting our hands dirty, literally, of course, in Italy you do it with a glass of homemade wine. This is live, guys. This is live. Pici is traditionally served with either garlic heavy tomato sauce or toasted breadcrumbs, often referred to as a poor man's parmigiano. And as the aromas of the freshly made tomato sauce spread throughout the entire house, I couldn't wait any longer and had to sample this freshly prepared Tuscan masterpiece.
Che gli deve bollire, naturalmente si deve cuocere il pomodoro per circa... levo questo, se no poi dopo non vi piace.
No, io mangio tutto.
Sì?
Tranquillo, sì. No,
Prezzemolo.
perfetto così.
Questo è
Prezzemolo,
prezzemolo.
qualsiasi cosa. Anche se mi metti proprio la cipolla sopra, mangerò tutto. So, we put fresh oregano on just freshly cooked tomatoes, and because the tomatoes were still hot, oregano cooked just a little bit, and now the flavor, the smell, I can't, guys. I have this feeling, I feel bad eating it because it smells so good and I just want to look at it, but of course I'm literally drooling. I have to try this. As the process got more involved, I realized once again that I was much better at eating than at cooking. Well, you're supposed to make it like this, guys. So pretty much not to do, what to do. This is how we're doing it today. But the hardest part was still ahead, making the actual Pici-shaped pasta. At the beginning, it looked anything but peachy, but we never gave up. And slowly, with a bit more wine, focus, and dedication, it all started to come together. As Antonella and I were deep into the pasta making process, she shared with me so many incredible life stories of how she moved to this house as a newlywed, shared it with her in-laws who helped them to raise kids, and how much she was in love with her husband. So Antonella is sharing that she spent over 50 years, the happiest years with her husband, and she says that she wishes for everyone to have such happy years with their significant other as she had, that they had the most special relationship, and she truly wishes it for everyone. Antonella and I also talked about different cooking techniques, regional Italian dishes, and various pasta types throughout Italy. So guys, with exactly the same dough, for example, in Puglia, you make orecchietti, and that's how you make it. So every single region in Italy makes their own special type of pasta, and that is what I'm always telling you. Every single time you travel throughout Italy, when you're doing Italy travel, every single region is going to surprise you and delight you with their own specialty dishes of that specific region. Once we were done cooking, we sat down for dinner to enjoy all the local produce of the farm, from meats and cheeses to homemade jams, and of course, the famous Pici pasta. Finally, for dessert, we were offered Cantucci with traditional wine of Montepulciano, Vin Santo. The absolute best way to end the evening in Tuscany and this travel guide. And of course, fabulous, stay tuned for the next Tuscan travel episode, where I'll share with you one of the hidden gems of Tuscany, the largest grotto in entire Europe, and the only grotto in the world with that specific type of microclimate. Well, fabulous people, thank you so much for watching this Tuscan vlog. I truly hope that you found it useful and beneficial. And before you go and start packing for your trip to Italy, please remember to smack that like button. And if you're new to my channel and my vibe, and the vibe of this channel resonates with you,
I invite you to subscribe, and I truly hope to see you all in my next video.